think anyone's watching. Oh no, there's 7 people. So 7 people saw that dramatic, majestic entrance, and I feel good about that. Sure. So we're gonna do some preparation here. H. Shouldn't you have done the preparation beforehand? Yes. But dude, Les, how are you, man? How you been? How's everything going on with you? What's new in your life? What's new in your heart? What's new? Hi. Coffee is working apparently. That's good. Feeling good about that. And yeah, so what I'm doing right now is going to the old Facebook page, because the other day we had posed a question. That question is, when it comes to guitar setups and things like that, is there anything that talk about points of pain? If I may borrow a colloquialism, if I can say colloquialism, from working at a day job, let's talk about points of pain for the customer and what are some takeaways that we can identify and I can do it. Come up with some action items to improve the overall experience. How is that? Should we turn this into an annual review? I can speak appraisal. Oh, good, man. That's good. I'm glad to hear that you are well. Let's go to the old Facebook page, and I'm gonna go to this little post, and I can hear in the other room, Mrs. Sully's got Our House by Madness playing. That's all right. Okay, that's fun. Sean, good morning to you. Joe, what's up? What the fuck is up, Denny's? Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about, or I'm going to yammer on about. Now, to be fair, I should have tools and that sort of thing with me. But that would have required forethought and planning. So we know that sort of thing doesn't happen. Paul, happy weekend to you. Bon weekend. And here he is, David, young David. Now, I'm going to tell you 11 other people that are watching this about the wonder that is David. And he's just a super positive ball of energy that we have at the shop. And it's very helpful on days maybe like yesterday when things were very difficult. And someone that is effervescent, bubbly, caring. He's kind of like a Care Bear that sands and scrapes binding and asks important questions and say, hey man, take a look at this. Tell me what you think. Tell me what's in your heart. And then he'll maybe sharpen a chisel. That's right. That's David for you. It's the fucking greatest. So, good morning, David. And so the one thing, let's go back to David, is, he always likes to check in. And this is fun. David's not watching anymore. David signed off. I'm embarrassing David. He likes to check in. So, maybe, Adam is in the little office, maybe doing some wiring, maybe cleaning up a pick guard, maybe allocating pickups that came in, or parts and stuff like that. And when Adam will come out, he'll be like, David's always like, "What's up, Adam?" And it always makes me think of that video. What the fuck is up, Denny's? In the best way possible. And I love his enthusiasm. So, David, you're the best. Tim, it's also pretty damn great. Hi, Tim. Yes. Go, David. And, I'm not necessarily going to end our David Appreciation Society meeting, but I am going to have a bite of this bagel. Pretty good. We're going cinnamon raisin. Yeah. See? There he is. He's coming right back. He's deflecting. He's not deflecting. He's returning. It's like a boomerang. It's a boomerang of energy and good tidings. Sebastian, good morning to you. You know what? I thought of you earlier. And I don't know what made me think of this, but there was a 622 picture that I posted that maybe showed some writing. And I think you had commented, I don't want to take my guitar apart to see what's there. I'll tell you what's there. I'll tell you what should be there. It's under the pick guard. And it will have, it'll say like 622 batch number, whatever batch number yours was in. I think it was batch 5, maybe 6. And then it'll have a date, and then I sign it. I try to do that on all of them. I'm pretty sure that I did it. But I don't have a picture of it. I've found, and this is probably not great, I found lately that I'm taking fewer pictures as we're getting stuff done because, well, I'm trying to get stuff done. And the other thing, which David can absolutely attest to, is that I'm a hurricane. Like, not in a good, I don't mean like, I'm a hurricane. I'm not like the Scorpions. But like, I'm a mess. So, in here and then everywhere around me. So, things that, maybe like as I'm working on something, maybe the immediate area. Bye, Les. So much time and so little to do. Good reference. So maybe the area isn't always like camera ready. So really what the takeaway is, we're doing that, is that I should just, not be such a mess. But I would like to not be such a mess because like after a while it gets to be to a point where it's like, this is too cluttered and it like kind of makes me stressed out. And there's an easy solution to that. Stop being such a mess. See, look, here he is. He's back in. Nothing some well-labeled shelves and boxes can't fix. Man, that's David. I'm not a mean hurricane. That's a reference to something that I'm not getting right now. So I'm going to say no. No, I'm not. I'm going to say I'm not a mean hurricane. But yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. I failed you. I didn't get the reference. Michael, good morning to you. So Sebastian, those are written. So 622s, it's right here. So if you wanted to, quick and easy, you can just kind of undo these and just kind of lift up and take a sneak peek. And you'll see there. Let's see. Paul wants to know what's written on yours. Now, that, so Paul's Stardust was made at a time when I was taking a lot of photos. I'll say the most common thing is that I sign pickup cavities. And for the most part, that's really, I don't, no, I still do write stuff under fretboards. Not always. And probably, definitely not as often as I used to. What I used to do is I used to write like what it is and the client's name and the date, and then I'd sign it. But number one, well, there isn't a number two, but like, I stopped writing the client's name. Well, because, sometimes things get sold. So I stopped doing that, but I will, like now, like if we've got neck shafts, sometimes I'll just kind of like write what it is. And, David, when we were talking yesterday about job sheets and stuff, well, that's extra work for me, but I could, kind of write what, like on the neck shaft or under the fretboard, like what guitar it is, what kind of binding, how many frets, and I'm doing this because like this is where on the neck shaft it would go, like on the sides of the truss rod cover, truss rod channel. I could write like what it is, what the fretboard material is, how many frets, stuff like that. I could put it here, but obviously once the fretboard is glued on, that kind of goes out the window. But anyway, so Paul, I'm going to scroll down. So I do have photos of every single guitar that I've built. And I do have the specs of every single guitar that I've built. So that's, that was one thing I think that I did Future Sully a solid. Let's see. Here's David's Stardust photo album. Here's Paul's. Let's see. Now, I don't have any pictures of the neck before I oh, wait, no, here's one. Okay, well, let's see. Oh, I can see something. Let's see. This is great for you, I'm sure. I may have. Oh, wait, no, Paul yours has a Wenge top, yeah. Stardust Deluxe, Wenge. Okay, so that was just a note for myself. This is riveting, I'm sure. Okay, so Paul, I know that I've sent you these. I had to have sent you these pictures. Paul, your guitar is noted in the pickup cavities. Under the neck pickup, it says Stardust Deluxe semi-hollow first batch, and then the bridge pickup, I signed it with a little heart like I do, and it's got 2020. So I can send you this photo. I'm as sure as I can be that it would have been in the batch of pictures I sent you when we were going through the process. But I'm happy to send this. Okay, let's see. Hank, good morning to you. Jeff, good morning to you. Joe, that's cool. You write things within the guitar. Not many companies do that anymore. I think it's very cool. Thank you. Now, what's funny is that I have seen guitars that I've made when they come up for resale. This happened once. Somebody wrote in the pickup cavity, and the new owner of that guitar sent me that picture, and I'm like, that's not my writing. I didn't write that. And like, no, like at that time, like I would have been the only person. So beware. If it looks like it was written, like, I think like my printing is similar to like comic book printing. So if it kind of looks like that, there's a good chance it's me. But I mean, nobody's out there, taking guitars apart and Well, one person. Anyway. Okay. All good, Paul. Sebastian, thanks for remembering the question I answered. Thought of day two. What about plans? Oh, see now so it seems that I've got my hooks into young Sebastian, and I enjoy that sort of thing. Yeah, those are good thoughts. That's how I would know. That's right. So like, I have a feeling that if things continue over the years, that I'll probably have there's probably going to be less writing in just because of from time constraints, but um, you know it's fun to do. But I mean, if nothing else, I'm pretty sure like everybody's guitar at least has something in the bridge pickup, bridge or neck pickup cavities. Like sometimes in the paint process, like the holder for the like if it's for like a set neck, like the holder for the whole thing would be like in a bridge pickup, or in a neck pickup. So if it's in one or the other, I'm not going to sign around screw holes and stuff like that. But yeah. Thanks, Joe. They're pretty solid. They're pretty solid guitars, and I like them too. Now, I don't sign the Conspiracy Series guitars unless I'm asked, or no, I'll keep that to myself. If I'm asked, or if we do like a Conspiracy Series Plus version, which is well, I'll just take an extra and we'll do like a new paint job on it. Usually, I'll write in the underside of. I don't always do this, but usually I write in the underside of the control cavity cover, and I'll write like what it was originally, like what color it was originally. Usually. Chris, good morning to you. How is your 625 treating you these days? How's life treating you these days? Dana, trying to remember anything I pick up. Let me, while I've got my photo albums up, let's go to the 92 section. There's Dana. Do I have pictures? No, I don't have assembly photos. I don't know. If anything, it would be in the bridge pickup cavity, because that's, I've just got a picture of gluing the neck in. Fun fact about Dana. Dana has a 92 with an Arrow headstock on it. And I had originally built it with the traditional flag headstock on it. I remember sending Dana a photo. I'm like, hey man, moving along. And it's like, looks cool, wrong headstock. Great job, fucko. That's not what he said, but that's what I said to myself. So that original guitar, the wrong one, that became Stevie's. So that works out for everybody. Brett, good morning. Let me tell you something about Brett. Let me tell you two things about Brett. Brett has been a customer for many years now. And Brett has a pretty interesting collection of Sullys. I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to let that land for a minute. Brett's got a couple of custom Ravens. He has the Conspiracy Series Stardust prototype that was blue. And that one has our pickups in it. That one has the bridge pickup on that was it's basically our Al Pastor pickup with an Alnico 8 magnet in it. And he's got a Conspiracy Series 71 Starling that was so it's a Conspiracy Series Plus. That I'm just going to tell everybody about what you own, Brett. Conspiracy Series Plus. So that was Black Unicorn Sparkle, and it's got Fishman Fluence pickups in it. I spent most of yesterday. Sorry, wiring. Okay, so he's got Raven. So Raven number one is bolt-on Raven, alder body, spalted maple top, trans purple, maple neck, pale moon ebony fretboard. So that was the first one. I can't. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this chronologically. But and then you got like the 2 Conspiracy Series guitars. Maybe I can. And then I think your next one was the Nice Man, correct? So that was white 3 pickup, gold cover Nice Man. I still have PTSD from wiring that freeway switch. Then after that came the loudest guitar I've ever made. That was a NAMM Raven, mahogany body, flame koa top, Madagascar rosewood neck and fretboard. That's what this means. And that one, Tunematic stop tail, gold hardware. That was a really cool. I mean, it is a really cool guitar. It's very solid. It is acoustically, it is incredibly loud. Some people say, "Oh, that doesn't matter." I mean, technically, it doesn't until you plug the thing in. Why? Because it's an electric guitar. So then it was the Raven, and then I'm gonna say, "Oh, your 622. Your first, Brett has one of the first batch of the 622s. That also was like right around that time too. It is candy apple rad, but it's got a bit of a satin finish to it, so it really looks like Christmas wrapping paper. Like that guitar, to me, is like it's very Christmassy. And then Brett has a 625 prototype. It's on the website. That's the one that has the trans purple quilty. And then he's got the Black Limba 625. The body's Black Limba. It's like a shipwreck fade kind of blue on the top. Back is natural. Roast maple neck. So then, of those guitars, the Raven, the Nice Man, the 2 625s, they all have gold hardware. Why? Because let me tell you something. Brett loves gold. Loves it. So that's how he do. So those are Brett's guitars. So when people, from time to time say, "Oh, I got this guitar, secondhand, and wonder if you remember it. If it was something I built, I like 110,000% remember it." See, okay. So I wasn't reading the comments. I did make it back. You did have a first batch 622. Okay. Alnico's rule, says Joe. I like Alnico's. I like 5s. I think 8s are my favorite. Just because I like, because I'm a type of player that isn't as good as they really should be. So I can benefit by gain and, gluing notes together. So I like 8s. They're fun to play with. Generally, we put Alnico 5s in everything. In our pickups, we haven't really used ceramic magnets, but we can. Anyway, that's the one thing. And I've talked about this before. If you're interested in purchasing any of our pickups, which are a screaming deal, by the way, I've seen what pickup makers charge. We're less. And it's not because I'm trying to undercut anything or anybody or anything like that. It's just because, let's face it, I have terrible self-esteem. So I'm like, no one's going to pay that for this. Um, so, this last batch of pickup orders, someone had asked for black and white zebras with an Alnico 2 magnet in the neck instead of a 5. And yeah, that's cool. Don't mind. Let's see. That's we're talking about Alnicos here. Joe also likes 8s. Gold hardware is cool. Brett comes in. So if Brett was narrating if Brett was to do like a play-by-play of like a soccer match, I think it would be hard for you, Brett, to announce a goal without adding the D. That can be interpreted in lots of different ways. Anyway, Dave gets it. You can gain from gain, and that's why I have my victory cracking right there. Michael, thank you for that enthusiastic greeting. Good morning to you, or hello. Oh wait, there was a question back here. See, Brett agrees with me. Koa Raven roars. That's love the guitar directly behind you in the picture. This one. Celui-ci ou celui-là? Wait, no. La. Celui-là ou celui-ci? This one or that one? This one or that one? No, I can't. I'm never going to be a weather person if I can't get this part right. I got to point. This one? Celui-ci ou celui-là? Celui-là ou celui-ci? Yeah, so Joe, you're going to have to tell me. The black one? The white one? And then maybe we'll talk about it. Mm-hmm. But while Joe is thinking about that, I'm going to keep my promise. I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance. Didn't think you were going to get Evita this morning, were you? Did you? But you're not going to anymore. So we had a question. When setting up and maintaining your own guitars, what is most confusing to you? Oh, speaking of people that love gold, Dave Shelton enters the chat. Dave also loves gold. Dave said to me yesterday, he says, I'll die in a smelting accident because he loves gold. And like they say, smelt it, dealt it. So I got a lot of questions about intonation. And I wish that I could kind of maybe not eat on camera. No. I wish I could kind of like pull the question in, like I'm able to pull the live questions in. But this is for free, people. We're doing our best. Michael Hennenberger says, intonation. It's never 100% up and down the neck. Seems to be a whole lot of compromise. Now, yes, that is 1,000% true. The guitar is an imperfect instrument. And it's going to be out of tune in certain areas. You can minimize it, but there's, John Mayer's intonation. I always start the wrong direction every time and quickly figure it out. If you're doing like a tunematic, or tunematic like a wraparound bridge, I do the same thing constantly. So it's like, do I have one here? I do. You want me to go get it? I'll go get a guitar. Hold, please. You already have a guitar, but not the one I'm looking for. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. So here we have a 71 Trella with a wraparound bridge. And all of the adjustment screws are on this side. Why? Just sit down. So, when you go to set your intonation, I kind of do it like this. Oh, you know what? I've got some tools. We can talk about some tool recommendations. So what I can give you here is at least a couple of tips and pointers. So first thing, if you ever are on a long flight and you maybe are, they give you like little kits, save those because they hold tools wonderfully. So here's some product placement for you. I am not compensated for any of this stuff. I don't get free stuff from these people. So this is just stuff that we use. This little Music Nomad guy, this is the screwdriver set. Oh, this is great. So it comes with like their little make your own screwdriver. It comes with this, little spanner. Now I'm gonna say something nice that I like about this is that this is it's got like a suede-ish, maybe microfiber pad. So that's nice. However, if you're gonna buy one of these, don't get this one unless you get it for free and unless you get it part of this kit. The one that you want is the ESP spanner. ESP, the guitar company, you may have heard of them. It won't give you ESP. Maybe I'll go like in the next thunderstorm, I'll go hold my ESP spanner out and we'll see. Maybe I'll get electrocuted and then I'll get superpowers. But the reason that I like the ESP spanner a lot better than this one, although this one has this nice little suede thing, which this is really nice because, you don't have to worry about scratching your guitar very much. While the ESP spanner does not have this little foam backing on it. However, the ESP spanner is thicker. It's more substantial. I'm going to say this is a 1/16 of an inch thick. Let me get my ruler. Oh, it's less than a 1/16. It's a 32nd. But we'll talk about the rulers. Anybody that took one of my classes will know these center point rulers are the greatest. We'll explain that in a minute. So this is a 32nd of an inch thick. Use this enough, these things will bend. Makes them not super great to use. Anyway, so if you get it for free as part of this kit, then great. This kit is great. So we got our little screwdriver. So let's say I need to set some intonation. We got our screwdriver. We put it together. Locks in place. And then we get our screwdriver tip. So this is slot. So we get our slot in there. Yoink, yoink. We're ready to screw. Or unscrew. So, if I'm going to set the intonation, I got to turn it one way or the other. And it always goes the wrong way at first. I went a long way to just say that. So intonation is something that number one, I think people don't necessarily understand what it is, or people have an irrational fear of intonation. And now I'm only talking about electric guitars. I'm not talking about acoustics because that's a whole other thing. And let's try and stay focused. Intonation and truss rod adjustments are things that people, I think, are unnecessarily afraid of. So setting intonation, all you're doing is you're changing the length of the string. And what that means is the distance between your saddle and the nut. Obviously, you're not going to change this anywhere. So you're really just moving this and this. Now, I also say that there's not a lot you can do to an electric guitar that can't be undone. Now, I don't say that to then give someone license to, turn your truss rod 3 full turns and then make an adjustment. I mean, let's not be a crazy person. So, but, there's a lot of mystique and fear about this whole thing called guitar building. And look, if I can figure this shit out, I'm dumb. So like you can too. Um, so the things that can make intonation go easier is, when it comes just to setups in general, it depends, like the order that you do things in makes a big difference. And what I do, and this is something that dear Kyle has suggested, that maybe we do like a ebook or something, and maybe you give it out for people that join the mailing list. Kyle's a genius. So anyway, get one of these. This is great. It does have, it's got Allen bolts, like, hex bolts. It's got everything that you're going to need for like instrument specific work. So this is something that you can get and you can hang on to. Get one of these. This is like they're like, I don't know, they're like $400 at Stuart McDonald, and I'm joking, they're not $400, and that's not like a dig at Stuart McDonald either. I think StuMac's great, but this, I got this on Amazon. Get you the Baroque string action ruler. It's probably $9 on Amazon. Get this. Maybe get this, unless you've got all of the wrenches and all that stuff you need. And I don't have it here, but get yourself a truss rod wrench that's like it's got like a screwdriver handle and a ball end. Way better than like Allen wrenches, like like the little L-shaped hex wrenches. Just get one of those. That one, I guess, probably is best for us because we use the same truss rod size on everything. But so we're going to talk about the order that you set things in. First thing you got to do is tune the guitar. And then you want to check your neck relief. You can do this one of two ways. You can, there's the whole like put a capo here, and then you hold it down, and then you measure around the 7th fret. Easier if you don't have a capo, take a pick, go like that. This holds your low E string down, and then you hold at the end of the fretboard. Then you get your little string dude. It's got metric. It's got imperial. I'm looking for a lot. So on a lot of factory setups, they'll set the neck relief to about 10 thousandths around the 7th fret. That's a good like starting point. And so if you are measuring here, and if the string, and you can kind of tap for deflection, but you just kind of get in there and you look and you see where you are. Now, with these, it's not going to focus in as well as I wanted to. With these little numbers, the thing that I like about this particular $9 string action gauge is that with each little graduated ramp, there's rows of dots, and you can use that as your fine-tuning measurement. So you want the bottom of the string sitting on top of these measurements to use it properly. And so, and you see where you are. So if it's more than 10 thousandths, then you've got bow this way that you need to correct. So you need to raise the surface of the fretboard to the strings. You do that by tightening your truss rod. Just slightly, like just do like 1/8 of a turn. If you think about it like a clock, go maybe from like noon to 2 o'clock. Don't go 6 to midnight, so to speak. See where you are. Give it a minute. Some truss rods are, this is wood. Some truss rods are a little bit more responsive than others. Give it a second, check, season to taste. Once you get your neck relief set, And again, you're already tuned. You get your neck relief where you want it to be. Get it around 10. I mean, we go lower just because all of our stuff is plecked and we use robots in science. But generally speaking, 10 or a little bit less, between 10 and 5, good. If you don't have one of these, you can use like little feeler gauges. You can use cutoffs of strings to kind of get it. It's a little fiddly. Just get one of these and save yourself the hassle. So then you've got your neck relief set. And now this is like the same thing that, this is how we go through this process. Then I want to check my string height. And we check our string height at the 12th fret. And before everyone goes, that's not where you check it. It is if it's been plecked. Generally speaking, I think, and Dan everyone agrees with me because like, whatever, we're cool. If your guitar has not been plecked, the best place for you to check your string height is at the 17th fret. Why? Because once you're at that point, the nut height is no longer really influencing the string height. And that will kind of give you the most accurate string height reading there. Again, we used to do that, and I would do that there, and then with stuff that's been plecked, I'm like, that doesn't seem quite right. Like, you got to check it at the 12th because that's what the computer is doing, and so it's like I need to calibrate what I'm doing for that particular task. Well, shouldn't it be the other way around? Things should always be all different kinds of ways, but let's accept things as they are and not how we want them, and adjust. Just like when people say, "Man, that volume knob is a problem." No, it's a problem for you, and maybe there's that whole like. Maybe you just adjust some things. Just yourself. Maybe you're the problem. Anyway, a lot of people say, like with the standard like Stratocaster knob placement for the first one, man, I hit that all the time. I understand. I never did. And I play like a straight Strat style guitar for a million years. Okay, so we've got our neck relief set. We've got our string height. And where we set ours up, is 50 thousandths on the treble side, a little over 50 thousandths on the bass side. Now, in some guitars, we can get it like to 40, and it's bonkers, and it plays fine. But what we do when we send guitars out is, there's a basic parameter that we have things always set at, because I know that if it's just, if we start here, we know it's fine. And, you could lower it a little bit, you could raise it a little bit, and you're going to be okay. You may need to make some additional adjustments at your relief to do so. But, so we go 50 thousandths to 67, 50, just a little over 50, sometimes to 60. And now that there can be other kinds of things that influence how the guitar plays. After that, we'll get to that in a second. So once your string height is set, and just use this with your height, and wherever you're checking your string height, I've said we do it on the 12th, and I've explained why, because that's where we're working with machines. But for you, maybe if the guitar hasn't been plecked, maybe look at it at the 17th. And now, you want the bottom of the string to sit on the top of whatever this measurement is. And sometimes you can lower it just a little bit, and then you look at those rows of dots in this little graduated thing to kind of like a fine tuner. So you can fine tune. And you do it, if you do this across each string, what are you doing? You're setting your string height in conjunction with the radius of the neck. Now, what about compound stuff? We'll get to that. Funny thing about compound, I don't want to get to that. Last is your intonation. Now, one thing that will absolutely be a factor is the quality of your tuner. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go out and buy a $500 tuner. Are there $500 tuners? probably a bespoke tuner, handcrafted. Um, if you have like an Axe-Fx, maybe a Fractal has a tuner. I know an Axe-Fx does or did at one point. There's your tuner. On my phone, I have the Boss tuner. It looks just like a Boss tuner pedal. I think that's free. Fucker works. There's also the Peterson app, the Peterson strobe tuner app. I think that's $9, $10. And as long as you've got, the little connector, little adapter to do it on your phone, you can do it on your phone. Now, I wouldn't really trust setting your intonation, just using like your phone's microphone. Cause there's going to be other things that impact that, but get a decent tuner. We have one of those Peterson, stomp pedals. Oh, there's balloons. We have one of those Peterson stomp pedals at the shop. Didn't always have that. I used to just use the Peterson app on my phone or the Boss pedal app on my phone. And Adam, being the sweetheart that he is, he probably got tired of me doing that and just bought the pedal, which was really nice. And so, and if you've just got a clip-on tuner and you're committed to using that, the TC Electric Polytuner, that gets pretty close, because a lot of times I will have I'll have that clipped on the head when I'm also plugged into the Peterson, and like it gets it really close. So the other thing that you want to do, and the reason why, okay, so I'll get to that in a second. When you're doing your intonation, you just want to, you want to hit the string like you play. And now this is one thing where this can be a big variation, because especially with like going between Adam and myself, when Adam plays, Adam picks a lot harder than I do. And so when people complain about buzz, there are some things, some factors that have to be taken into consideration. And now this is all assuming that everything on this guitar is set to like the acceptable parameters. And I know that this is fine. If I do that and someone is like, oh yeah. Anyway, Firehouse aside, Adam can make anything buzz because he picks a lot harder than I do. So there are times when he's going through the setup process, and I'll check in. I'm like, so how are we looking? And it's kind of getting a little bit here, but I don't know, because like Adam uses like old person's toenail style picks, like real thick, and he's a beast. He's a white tiger, whereas I'm a dainty flower. So where Adam will make things buzz, I won't, or sometimes will, and then we'll adjust. So when you are setting your intonation, you're just hitting the string. And string open, play it at the 12th fret. That's it. Now, here's the reason why we do all that stuff before we set the intonation. Because if your neck relief is drastic and your string height is maybe a little too high, pushing the string down is going to make it go out a lot more than if it was dialed into where it's supposed to be, or if it was done in order. So, and so you're just hitting this stuff as to your own playing style. And it can take a while for you to figure out exactly what that is, because if you're focusing, you can get hyper fixated and you'd be like, and it's like, I'm barely doing anything and it's perfect. But then when you're actually playing, maybe you're pulling those notes sharp. So you get that going. Now, the easy way to remember which way the saddle has to go, fret, flat, forward. So if you fret it and the note is flat, move the saddle forward. That's it. If it's sharp, move it back. That's it. You know, technically, yes, if it's flat, you move forward, you need to shorten the string. But like something like, oh, we just got to shorten the string. That to me doesn't necessarily make me say, oh, I know exactly what I have to do, especially when I was learning this process. But fret, flat, forward, 3 Fs. And so that's it. Now, there are certain bridges that are a lot easier to set up, set the intonation on than others. And maybe we'll talk about the Floyd thing another time, because for those of you that struggle with, well, here, it's same process. I just don't have that tool with me. It's the Red Bishop Floyd Rose intonation thing or something like that. I forget. But if you just search for like Red Bishop intonation, you'll find it. It's made in Japan. There's that little tool called the key that it's been around forever. You use to intonate Floyds. I've got one. I used to use it. It's fiddly. I don't really like it. And it doesn't work on like the licensed trems. The Red Bishop one does. And they also have a version for like non-fine tuning Floyds. So I've got both of those, and it is amazing. It is great, great, great. It holds the saddle in place. So then you can undo the saddle set screw, and you just set your intonation, and you just kind of roll it like a fine tuner, and then you screw it back in place when it's done. It is the only thing. If you're going to intonate a Floyd, you have to just get that. It will make your life so much easier. So that's intonation. It's not scary. You're just setting the string length. And, if you change string gauges and tunings, if you go drastic, you're probably going to have to make some slight changes. But nothing crazy. But what's also kind of interesting is if you go up a string gauge but down a step in tuning, your intonation usually stays pretty much the same, because it's really just, that's been my experience. And I still check to see where the intonation is, but it usually often works out that it's all good. Yeah. I hope that was helpful. Let's see. What else we got? Ça va. What's my favorite bridge? It depends on what it's for. Like on a 71, on a trella, I like wraparounds. Now, not all wraparounds are created equal. Some wraparounds are a little easier to use than others. But I like wraparounds. Other guitars, like, the Hip Shot Fixed Bridge, it's kind of hard to beat. And I like that. As far as 2-point, Stratty style trems go, I like the Goto 510. We've got this one set up to float, and that works great. I like the non-fine tuning Floyds. I also like to use those as a 2-point trem. And it depends on what the guitar is. Like, I wouldn't, for like a 622, I probably wouldn't gravitate toward a non-fine tuner Floyd, just because like visually it's not really it doesn't seem like the right choice to me. But like putting a 510 on a Raven, I think would be weird. So like I'd maybe do a non-fine tuning Floyd if somebody wants a 2-point style trem that is of good quality. I don't mind Tune-O-Matic stoptails. I think those are fine. I didn't used to like the Hip Shot Tone-O-Matic bridge. I've since kind of warmed up to it. One of the things that I do kind of like about it is that visually it looks like the super old school Jackson early 80s brass bridges. So, that's how you get me on board. Let's see what else. What other bridge? The Shallerhannes bridge I like. It's not the funnest thing to install, and they can be tough to source. It's a very comfortable fixed bridge. However, like when you take the saddles are made in a manner that they'll fall out. Like if you're changing strings, like they'll just kind of come out. They snap right back in, but it's a little undesirable. But there's that. We use those from time to time, not so much anymore. A couple of years ago, I just bought as many of them as I could possibly find, and I think I might just have like maybe 3 or 4 left. So once they're gone, they're kind of gone because I have to order them from Germany, and I can get whatever. I think that's it. I think those are the bridges that we use. I like the Floyd. I like the FU Tone bridge. Yeah, that's my bridge comments. Ooh, we're gonna run out of time here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I know. We're gonna run out of time. Is there anything? Let's see. I usually have someone hold the string down at the 1st fret with their pinky. Then I use my right pinky to hold the string at the 24th fret down, and then my left pinky to slap the string. Man, that's a lot. Let's see how much. So what do you do if you don't have one there? If you don't have somebody there? I know that I've done. I've probably gone like, oh no, I know that I've done this, and go like this, and then I can generally kind of go doink, 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 doink. I can get kind of close. That's the 8th fret. But yeah, just stick a pick under there and use that as your hold down. Although I do applaud, setups with a friend. It, yeah, that's fun. Music Nomad Humidity Kit. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. They do make some really good stuff. What if you have a locking nut Floyd Rose and you want to set intonation? So you get that key or not the key. Get the Red Bishop, whatever, that intonation thing. Just, again, Google Red Bishop Floyd Rose. You'll find it. You can probably get it on Amazon. You don't lock the strings down, because you need to make some adjustments, but that'll work. Let's see. See, now you think that I have clout. That's sweet. I appreciate that. Fretwork is the biggest pain. That's a whole other thing we won't get into right now, especially we've got 33 seconds left here. So, can we customize guitars on your website like some others? Oh, like I don't have a generator because I don't have that kind of budget, and I don't really know anybody that makes them. I could look into it. I'd like to have that. I really would, because it'd be fun. But for right now, unfortunately, no. Okay, that's it. And Robert, thank you for asking that question. It is something that I would like to do, but